The number one question that I receive from singles is, can men and women just be friends? And interestingly enough, the number one question that I receive from couples, whether married or not married, is, can men and women just be friends? So regardless of your relational status, whether you're single and alone, dating, in a committed courtship, engaged or married, the relational state of affairs doesn't matter. This is an age-old question that has gone unanswered and has created all types of problems in relationships. So let's deal with this. Now, when thinking about friends, it's important to understand that every single relationship on the planet Earth, whether you're dealing with male-male, female-female, or male-female, every single relationship is based upon some form of attraction. Now, that attraction may not be physical, it may not be sexual, it may not be emotional, but over the course of time, there is something that initially attracts you to that person. For instance, if there are commonalities that you share. So let's just say that I'm a lover of tennis and I meet someone who is a lover of tennis. Now we can come together based upon that commonality. We're attracted to one another based upon that area of interest. So when we're talking about tennis, we can laugh and we can joke and we can reminisce about our favorite players and we can talk about our moves on the court. When we're at the gym, we can actually play pickup tennis and we can really enjoy ourselves. Now we're talking about a platonic, non-sexual relationship, nothing inappropriate at all. So our relationship is based upon that commonality or that area of interest, or what we will call an attraction. Now, when it comes to males and females, over the course of time, as you begin to build up familiarity, as you become more friendly with one another, whatever that main interest was, which was tennis, can then begin to transition into other types of conversation. So you transition from being friendly to becoming friends, where you begin to share, where you begin to care, where you become intimate to a degree about your life, about your interests, about your passions, and you really get to know the person that you're with. Now, many people will call this platonic relationships. And by most people's perception, there's nothing wrong with a platonic relationship. And you can have that within the realm of your relationship. But the word platonic is problematic in itself, because by definition, platonic is defined as to have an intimate and affectionate relationship with someone void of sex. But let me ask you a question. How intimate can you really be? How affectionate can you really be without some type of sexual energy or desire manifesting in the realm of that relationship? I know I can't. I can't get too affectionate and too intimate with anyone outside of my wife and it just be quote unquote a platonic relationship. So by definition, I have a problem with the word in itself, so the concept is wrong. And so what happens is we think, because we're in a committed relationship, is no big deal. And in fact, if I have a problem with my partner having an opposite sex friend, that somehow I'm what would be considered, I have self-esteem issues, or I'm insecure, and what's the big deal? The problem is, if we don't establish proper boundaries and borders and rules and rituals and forms of government to establish our relationship, and our guards are down, it's easy to transition into something that will be considered inappropriate. And so that initial platonic, non-sexual, non-emotional, non-physical attraction, the lines become blurred. And you begin to see that person in a way that you've never seen them before. And so these are the slow transitions that take place with opposite sex friends over the course of time, which can ultimately place your relationship in a vulnerable state. And so I say this, if you have friends outside of your marriage or committed relationship, and they happen to be members of the opposite sex, once I step into a relationship, the nature of those relationships that you have must change. I'm not saying that they necessarily have to end, but the nature has to change. So if you got together with your opposite sex friends and went to the movies and went shopping and spent all types of, long amounts of hours on the phone, having great conversation, and now you're in a relationship with me, things have got to change, number one. Number two, your friend has to now become my friend, okay? So we together have to embrace this particular friendship. I'm not saying that I need to talk to that person like as much as you do, but you cannot have that person as a separate, part of your personality from me. In essence, you can't live a separate life or have a private world with your opposite sex friend that I am not privy to, because then I begin to question what the true nature of that friendship is. The other piece is this. Let's talk about friends, because friends has become a term that has transitioned in terms of its definition. So what we would consider a friend, say 10, 15 years ago, means something different today. Many people have friends with benefits. Many people have a sexual past or some unspoken sexual desire and energy and temptation with a particular friend, though it's never gone there. And so I would say that those are really uncomfortable situations to be in when you're stuck between your friend who you have an attraction for and your partner who you have an allegiance for. And so now your heart is going in one direction, your mind is going in another, and it's just not a good setup for a long-lasting committed relationship. So as it relates to friends, I'm not saying that you should not have one, but you should do what's best for the relationship. If you feel that it becomes a threat to your relationship, you may want to reevaluate these friendships. If it's no big deal and your partner doesn't have a problem with it, then do your best to bring that outside friendship into your relationship and allow your partner to become familiar with him or her so that there are no issues, there's no tension, there are no thoughts of curiosity or doubt or insecurity that can creep up in that relationship. That is my view on opposite sex friends within the realm of a committed relationship.